Love Like Knives, Vera Bloom on Nashville's Rock Station 102.9 The Buzz. Vera is live in the Hillside Medical Buzz Studios. Welcome.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me,
I think
Andy.
you've been here once before. You came in and got a soda out of the soda machine, and then you left really fast. Do you remember that?
Yes, that was in the prohibited times.
Yeah, much different time. But the soda machine was open and able to be used still back then.
Yes.
But
Thank you, soda machine.
Anytime. But I'm glad you're on the show. You're one of the fan favorites of the show. I have to say, every time I play your stuff, there's a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people that call and tweet about you and text about you. Do you find that to be that the Vera Bloom thing's really catching on in this town?
You know, I hope so, but I don't know. I think so. For the 2 years that I've been really going at it, one being the pandemic year, I would say, yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I would say so too. And I want to point out you can follow her at Vera Bloom Baby. And I love that your social media handles are that, because so often I encounter like the Vera Bloom or Vera Bloom Official. Any of those kind of pages, if you start your social name with the or official, it's very often not. So I love how yours is just Vera Bloom Baby.
You know, you got to keep it upbeat, keep it light.
You really do. And I feel like anytime you have to say the, people know who you are or they don't. Therefore, you don't have to say the whatsoever. Mine's just Andy Herrin. Actually, I got it years ago, and then recently someone tried to buy it off me. I guess another Andy, an imposter, if you will. But I just got them all back in the day. I couldn't think of a funny nickname. My name's ridiculous enough as it is, so I just got Andy Herrin.
Works.
And it seemed to work out just fine.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't need to be said, but you're the Andy Herrin.
Oh, that's right. There you go. The Andy Herrin Official. Music.com. So how are things been going as far as like playing shows this last year? I know 2022 has been a big time for shows. I've seen you've been playing like Springwater and places like that. How have the shows been going with the live band? You're a 4-piece, right?
Yeah, 4-piece. It's been great. We've been playing pretty consistently like once a month. But I'm actually playing 3 times this month or June. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm really looking forward to just getting out of Nashville though. So end of July I'm going to do like 7 shows out of state.
Oh, hitting the road. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah. Putting my van to work finally.
Yeah. No, I love that. I feel like your band would go over really well, like on the road, like hitting different cities and kind of the DIY thing, booking your own tour and just getting out there and doing it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hope so.
And I feel like too, when it comes, we were talking off air about the sound of your music. It kind of, every song you put out is always a little different. Love Like Knives was different than, I think it was Breathe was the very first song I ever played of yours about 2 years ago now. What would you describe your sound? Because it's not really grunge. It's not really rock. It's not pop. It's not garagey. Like, how do you describe Vera Bloom's sound?
I just say I'm rock music.
Yeah.
And I a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, so a couple songs are like more punk. Like people always say I'm grunge-y, but I think that's after they learn I'm from near Seattle, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I usually just say, if you like rock music, you'll probably dig it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I dig that. You say it's Vera Bloom, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
And they know exactly what you're talking about.
I love it.
Do you think the Seattle sound influences you at all growing up around there?
Probably. If anything, it's like the air and the attitude, I feel like, more than the music for me. But yeah, I mean, how could it not? I'm a big believer in anything you listen to influences you.
Yeah.
So probably.
I love that. Right on. Yeah. What does say you're influenced by everything and anything?
I am. I'm getting influenced right now.
I love it. Well, let's get into a song right now. It's one of my favorites, and it gets a really good response every time I play it. The song Mud. Tell me something about this tune.
Oh, yeah. This one is fun. It's about an ex. So it was like angry, like get it out there. This one is the one I really scream on at shows. But I don't know. A surprising fact is probably I wrote it on the acoustic guitar and it like just didn't sound as driving, but it was still, the energy was there. I don't know. It's like my fun punk song.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right
Mud.
On. Well, let's get into this. And I want to talk about you riding bikes with Norman Reedus. I want to play the 5-round question game with you because you're finally here. So let's play this song now, Mud, on Nashville's Rock Station 102.9 The Buzz. Vera Bloom. Bad Decisions, Vera Bloom on Nashville's Rock Station 102.9 The Buzz, the local buzz. And surprise, surprise, Vera's live in the studio.
This is true.
Longest time coming to get you in here. I think we've mentioned it so many times. We've talked about it, but I'm so stoked that you're actually here right now.
Yeah, me too.
It's good to have you. And you didn't ride your motorcycle here. I was expecting that.
I know. I know. I thought about it, but I had to stretch the old van's legs. It's been a while.
Get it ready for the road. I feel that.
Yeah.
You want the engine to freeze up, I think they say.
Something like that, yeah.
And I have to ask you about, I'm sure everyone has, but a couple years ago, you went on a ride with Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead, of the movie Gossip, Blade 2. I like to mention the other things that he's done because
Boondock Saints. Excuse me.
That
I'm kidding.
little movie that might make it someday, Boondock Saints. I don't like to say Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead because that's like my least favorite thing he's done.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's
but probably the biggest. And I'm sure it made him the most money. But how did that go about coming to be a thing? You're riding around with Norman Reedus on a motorcycle.
Yeah. So when I first moved here to Nashville, I was in a duo project, and one of our things was riding motorcycles together. It was this other girl and myself, and so we were part of this like not even like international organization for women riders thingy. They're called the Litas, and Norman needed some riders to be on the show, starting from Memphis back to Nashville. And so he reached out to the leader of, no one can see my quotation marks. So I just realized that, sorry.
They can feel them.
You can feel them, okay. So anyway, he reached out to her and she knew about us here in Nashville. And so she recommended us. And like being musicians here, whatever, it all just kind of, the pieces all fit together.
Yeah.
So yeah, we rode out to Memphis, met up with him, like did things on the show. And then we escorted him back, I guess you could say, on motorcycles, and then we met up with Yellow Wolf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then we all like rode around like on the Natchez Trace and whatnot. Yeah, it was cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's a really, really down to earth guy. He's
I always wondered
cool.
that.
Oh, he's so
that
cool.
level of fame. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we had lunch one shooting day, and then he was like, everyone's like, it's time to go, get to the next thing. And some like older man in a wheelchair really wanted to talk to him, and so Norman just like takes off his helmet, and he just is like, everyone can wait. I'm going to give this like guy, the fan, time of day, whatever. And he's just like, he's just real.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's cool.
Do you ever get nervous riding motorcycles in Nashville, the worst driving city in the country? Not to be mean, Nashville, but you know it's true.
No. I mean, I do try not to go on the interstates very often just because, people are idiots. But no offense, people. But if you, anyway. But I don't know. I feel okay for the most part. But yeah, I do try to stay off the interstates.
Yeah.
And just the roads, like the potholes.
Yeah, no joke.
Like, terrible.
I will say I play by the rules. I always look twice for motorcycles.
Good, thank you.
Unless it's a crotch rocket, I look 3 or 4 times in disbelief that anyone thinks those are cool.
I know. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, Vera Bloom is here, and I'm honored that you're here. It's been a long time coming, and I want to play the 5 random question game with you, but I always ask because I'm a gentleman, and some people don't like to play games.
I'm all about the games.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cheesy Music Engaged. 5 random questions with Vera Bloom on the local buzz. So a couple days ago, a much younger friend of mine asked me what cartoons were big whenever I was a kid. And he looked at me and he was like, what, like the Flintstones or the Jetsons? Implying I'm like 100 apparently. So I wanted to ask you, I always say I grew up on 90s Nickelodeon. I wanted to ask you, Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob? What really better describes your childhood?
Well, I grew up like in the woods, so I only had 3 channels.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't get Nickelodeon.
So you're like cartoons? What are those?
No, I knew that, what, Power Rangers? That's not even a cartoon.
It could be.
Okay.
It might have been later.
And there's Archie.
Okay.
Isn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I know about SpongeBob, so I'm just going to go with SpongeBob to answer your question.
Fair enough. I love it. Question number 2 of Vera Bloom on the local buzz. Do you follow Daniel Johns of Silverchair on Instagram by chance?
No.
Because he's doing a thing where he's actually made a movie where he has a guy playing his younger self. And in the movie, it's like he goes back in time and stops his own band from ever taking place, which would be Silverchair. So I wanted to ask you, it looks pretty awesome. I wanted to ask you, if you could go back in time and stop one band from existing, who would it be? And don't say Cavo, because that's my answer.
Let's see. It might be like the latest U2 album.
Okay.
But that doesn't really count because it has to be completely from existence. God, this is a hard one. Can I pass?
Does it just
I don't know
phone a
because
friend?
I'm thinking of like one-hit wonders, but I'm like, I actually kind of like that song.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, we can say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to cancel Creed. You
Yeah,
know, like
fair enough.
everyone has their place.
Well, it's kind of like the idea if you go back in time and you change one thing and it all falls apart. So maybe
Yes.
you go back and take away one bad band and then all of a sudden we're not here or we have like 3 arms or something.
Yeah, no,
So
exactly.
we'll leave them all. We'll suffer
Yeah,
through.
that's I'm gonna like sleep on this tonight, and I'll text you tomorrow.
I love it. Question number 3 of Vera Bloom on the local buzz. A couple days ago, you saw a once very promising band now playing a show at a clothing store. Sad to see it, but sometimes it happens in this town. down. I wanted to ask you, what is one venue you would never play ever in your entire life? Like a level of show where like I would never do that. Like I saw somebody play at Qdoba one time. So what's one place you would just never play?
I was gonna say any of the honky tonks downtown, but I mean, Build-A-Bear. I don't know.
I gotta be honest. If I was walking by the Opry Mills Mall and saw you in the Build-A-Bear rocking, I'd probably stop and
I would
watch.
want a Vera Bloom Build-A-Bear though.
There you go. Yeah.
I guess I would play it if I could get that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I like that. I think that's such an awkward store because you're trying to get like a Build-A-Bear for like your niece.
And you like stuff it.
And they're making you dance around and stuff. I don't know. It's like, I just want to get this for my niece that I don't even really know that well.
I know.
I hope she likes it.
Yeah, you're like stuffing up its butt. You know what I mean?
It's way too much effort. Way too much effort. Question number 4 of Vera Bloom on the Local Buzz. You can go back in time right now and give your younger self a tip to help you get ahead in the future. What would that tip be?
Listen better to like things you really want to do and like versus what you think you should do or what other people say you should do.
Wise, very wise.
Very wise,
I
yes,
like
very,
it.
very wise.
Right on. Question number 5, the final question with Vera Bloom on the Local Buzz. This one's a tricky one. So you can have 70 dates, your dream tour, a live or dead artist, 70 dates direct support. But when you get back from this tour, the deal you made with the devil, which will be me, is you have to work driving a pedal tavern down on Broadway for an entire summer in exchange for this tour. Do you take the tour?
Yes.
Oh, so quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like a whole summer of bicycling will get me into really good shape.
That is true.
Let's do it.
For the next tour that would follow after your massive 70 dates support tour. I love it.
Yeah, I do it. You know, I do it.
Yeah, you're in music for the right reasons. That's a trick question, too, because most people go do tours like that, and they come back and work jobs like that.
Well, yeah.
In this town, you know?
I mean.
So fair enough.
Yeah.
Vera Bloom, well, thank you for playing.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
So what's the rest of 2022 looking like for you?
Yeah, just trying to get out on the road. And then eventually I'd like to get back in the studio. But the priority right now is hitting the road, getting out of town.
I love that.
Like expanding. Yeah.
I love it.
Packing up the van and going.
I love that. Well, Vera, it's an open door policy for bands that I like. You're obviously one of those bands. Anytime you want to come up here, just walk up those steps and knock on that glass door, and I'll let you in. But it's invite only. Do not tell your friends.
Okay. So sorry, guys, you're not invited.
Yeah, sorry, guys. You just have to wait outside. Before you get out of here, though, tell me something about this last song we're going to play. It's probably, I'd say it's arguably my favorite song of yours, which is obviously your latest, too, Serenity. Tell me something about that. Yeah,
that's my pandemic baby. I wrote that March 2020. I don't know time anymore. Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's like lockdown city, you know, we had to like learn how to be with ourselves, especially if you're someone like me who fills your life with distractions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started writing that during that time, and I don't know. So yeah, it was like nice not to write a song about an ex or anything. It was really introspective, and it was just kind of like dealing with my personal like, wow, I'm really bad at being alone and being with myself, you know, that kind of thing, and learning how to let stuff go and find calmness. Even though, like, it's so chaotic in your loneliness, it was just a weird mixture of emotions and whatnot. So, yeah.
I love it. You can hear it in the song. You really can.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Right
thank
on.
You.
Well, Vera Bloom, awesome to see you. Vera Bloom Babies, all the socials. Check out Serenity now, and I will see you soon.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you. Serenity, Vera Bloom in the Local Buzz.